Coming.
So we are on the series of tips and tricks. Today's topic is brain and memory. Brain is a wide subject. Here I am only sharing one or two screens for brain, and I will be brief on it. Only suggesting tips and tricks for protecting the brain and improving the brain health. And we will then move on to memory. And memory also, it's a very wide subject. Here we will be only dealing with how to improve the memory. For memory, medicines which are harmful for memory, then there will be a conclusion. These are the parts of the brain. I don't know whether you will be interested in knowing it. Anyhow, briefly.
If you mention the green part, what does it? I mean, what the green one? Did you mention it? I didn't get the green part.
The green part, yes. Maybe I left the occipital lobe. This is al-fus al-khalfi. Al-fus al-khalfi. It deals with the seeing eyes, and this regulate with it, and whatever you are able to analyze by seeing. Now, what functions are done by the brain? Most of these functions, you already know it. The brain does the thinking, learning, and feeling for the body. Everything is done by brain. It is a source of consciousness. If brain is dead, then whether your heart is beating or not, you're no more conscious, and no action or nothing can be done. So it is a source of consciousness, main source of consciousness. It also controls basic autonomic body actions like breathing, digestion, heartbeat that happen automatically. This regulates these things, and these the heartbeat, the blinking of the eye, or digestion. These are done automatically, and it is controlled by brain. We do not do it consciously. It gathers all the information about the world by senses, which are sent through nerves into the brain, allowing us to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel things. The brain processes this information, and we experience it as pictures, sounds, etc. Whatever with the five senses, whatever we get this information from the five senses, that is analyzed in the brain and then translated into a meaningful picture so that we can understand it, analyze it, and react to it. The brain also uses nerves to tell the body what to do. For example, by telling muscles to move or our heart to beat faster, and these are the things which all of you know, all these functions, but it is written in a systematic manner just as a reminder. Now for the what are the things which can keep our brain healthy? First of all, exercise regularly, and so that the blood circulation in your body is good and the blood reaches your brain and keep it healthy. Get plenty of sleep. This is very much a tacit thing. You have to realize that if you are not completing the sleep requirement of your body, everybody has different requirement from 6 hours minimum to 8 hours. More than 8 hours if you are requiring, then you have to check with your doctor. And if you are not sleeping 6 hours at least, then again you are disturbing your nerve system, your brain thinking system, your brain health, everything. So plenty of sleep means the body, what your body requires, complete that requirement. Eat a Mediterranean diet. What does it mean by Mediterranean diet? Mediterranean diet is everything which is actually, this word comes from Greek food, which contains mostly of green vegetables and poultry, but not including red meat. Red meat excluding other things which are mostly consisting of fruit and vegetables. This is a bigger subject, Mediterranean diet. We can discuss it sometime another if we get time to it. Stay mentally active. keep yourself active, mentally especially. Even if you are you don't have anything to do, a challenging thing to do, then take something which engages you, which engages your brain. For example, start playing chess. Chess is a game. Shatranj, I think it is called in Arabic. I don't know, but start playing with computer chess or crosswords or any other thing which challenges your brain. Keep doing that thing in your spare time. Uh, Remain socially involved and socially connected. This is very important. This seems to be unimportant to many people, but it has very subtle effects on your brain health. And you can avoid depression, you can avoid anxiety, you can avoid many other sickness of brain by remaining socially involved and socially connected. Be careful about blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. These three things are silent. These are called silent killers. It seems that you are not feeling anything. Many people do not even feel the be careful about blood pressure. Many people do not feel the symptoms of the blood pressure, but it affects the kidneys, the heart, and your brain health as well. Similarly, blood sugar also and cholesterol also. Be careful about emotions. If you have some emotions, don't keep it in your heart, don't keep it in your brain. It will damage both heart and brain. Express it and done with it. And don't keep it in your heart or brain. In this, I forgot to tell you that the one thing for the seniors, especially when all the children are gone to school and the adults are gone to office or busy in remote office in their rooms, and the seniors are sitting in front of the TV and looking at it. Instead of doing that, which doesn't have any brain exercise, take a challenge for memorizing one ayah or two ayah from Quran. Start from that according to your ability. Every day you challenge yourself that I will memorize these many ayats today. And any spare time you get, open the Quran, recite those ayats again and again. By the end of the day, inshallah, according to your ability, you may be able to memorize one ayah, two ayah, three ayah, or one ruku, or one page of the Quran. If you continue this, inshallah, the memorized pages will increase by the time. And this will keep your brains nerves within the brains active. They function like connecting, sparking things inside the brain. That enlivens the brain, and it is a best cure for Alzheimer. It is best cure for forgetfulness. The best thing. This Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this thing to us, and we must use this facility. And there is Ajr, which is above all these benefits, the best thing is Ajr, which we will get. Not to come on this slide, we are continuing with the brain health. 8th point is protect your head. Yes, of course, this is the first thing, that you should not bump your head with the side wall, or do not keep, if you are cycling or if you are doing some other things or going on snow skiing or something, wear a helmet or something to protect your brain. It should not hit, because it shakes the brain. And in this age, or whatever age it is, whether child or adult or senior, when the brain is shaken, it disturbs the cell's positions and it disturbs the memory as well as health of the brain. Drink water. Water is life. 75% of our body is water. Do not let it let your body be dry or your brain dried of water. Drink coffee. Coffee, I used to think that coffee and tea are not good for health, so I used to avoid. But some decades, for last 10 years, I have been reading about the benefits of coffee. It is very good for your brain health. So keep drinking it, but to a certain level. Meditate. This is a subject very important. Meditate, and it can be thinking about yourself, thinking about God, your relation and your position in the earth, or what you have been said, or whatever, silently keeping and drowning yourself into the thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is very soothing thing, and it is a cure for many mental diseases. Enjoy nature. Go out, see the greenery, see the birds, see the animals, see whatever it is in nature, how they behave, how the plants are growing, how they regrow, all these things, the natural beauty, mountains and these things, they give a very pleasant feeling to your brain. And if you think about it, the life, the purpose, everything, dwell upon it, it will, the meditation and the nature, diving deep into the nature, these two things are very beneficial. Practice yoga. Actually, I have put the word yoga as a neutral word, but the other, many people think yoga and stretching is similar, but yoga is a combination of all these three things: meditation, stretching, and contemplating. These three things are combined. The body exercise, mental exercise, and other breathing exercise. These three things are combined in yoga. But it is better to have some video in front of you and follow it. That will be very beneficial on three dimensions. Shed extra weight. Well, this is the modern thinking that we should not have extra weight. And there was a time when people think that extra weight is a good thing, but although in different times, different opinions have been there, but extra weight is always a burden on the skeleton, a burden on the brain also, because it has to send your blood to each and every part of your body. The veins are increased. The heart has to bear a lot of pressure, sucking the blood and sending back into the body to reach every part of it. These all are extra burden. So get rid of it. With apologies, one more slide is a technical one. Bear with me, but it is important information. For that reason, I have kept this slide. Here is we are starting with the memory. First of all, let us understand how many kinds of memories are there and what are their sub-classifications. Broadly speaking, memory can be subdivided into two types: long-term memory and short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory is that which has happened only few minutes before or on the same day. Long-term memory is something which had happened a long time before, and it is usually the short-term memory remains in your front brain, and long-term memory goes into your subconscious, and it is retrieved whenever brain thinks it is necessary to go there. The short-term memory is only short-term memory, and there are no sub-qualities of it. The subdivision is between long-term memory. There are two types of long-term memory. One is explicit memory and the other is implicit memory. Explicit memory means which is which you consciously think, that is explicit. And one implicit is unconsciously. Unconsciously means something which has happened and it was retained in your behind the brain, and that is called unconscious memory. Episodic events, for example, those events which happen to you in the form of episode, as you have seen wrong episode, and which happened practically to you, that is retained in your memory. That is called episodic memory. Semantic memory, that is general knowledge of the world. As you know, trees are green. This everybody knows. A child will know, and the earth. Some would think earth is flat or the round. Sun rises from the east and sets in the west. These are general knowledge. These are called semantic. Priming memory is, you can say it, Zakira Aulia, that is which is retained in your memory by some consciousness, sometime in the childhood or even before childhood, something which has gone in you have heard in your womb or something. This is priming memory, primary. Procedural memory is that which happened by taking action, by walking. You remember that while going to the mosque, you remember that when you reach the building of the mosque, on your left side is mosque, and on the right side it is parking. These things which you, when you are going, there are two signals from home to mosque. These are the things which you retain in your brain, and it takes 7 minutes to reach the mosque. All these things are retained by actually going there, by actually driving. These are procedural memories. Primary is something which you remember it as a basic knowledge. And how I can explain is that something which is taken for granted by men or by human being, that if I drop down from high level, I have to go by steps, not just put a step forward and you will fall down. This is something which comes into your mind, although you have not done it before. Even a small child, when on the bed, when it reaches the border of the bed, the small child, although never been down there, he will not go further. He will back out, or he will turn and put his leg first. Nobody taught him, and he did not do it before. But this is something primary thing inside. This is called priming memory. Improve with the memory. First of all, learn something new. The memory, actually, it is in the brain. One cell connects with another cell with the electric charge. The more you keep this electric charge active, the more is your memory sharp and good. If they become dormant, the cells become smaller, and some cells will dry down. So learn something new every day. Every day, try to learn something. As I gave you the example of verses, memorizing the verses of Quran. This is what is the exercise required. Play mind games like Scudo and chess. This also I mentioned before. This improves not only the brain but also your memory also. Repeat and retrieve. If something, how to increase memory? You have to keep something repeating. Same example comes here. Those who memorize Quran, what they do, they repeat what they learned before and try to retrieve something. For example, if they forget one line, they look back and make an exercise of remembering it. If it is not remembered, then open the Quran and see, oh, this is the word I was missing. They repeat and retrieve will pressure your brain to function optimally. Fourth, try acronyms, abbreviations, and mnemonics. These are techniques of remembering things. These are some techniques of remembering. Acronyms are that which is formed by making a word of the beginning. There are a number of words. Then each beginning word, alphabet is taken and a smaller word is formed. For example, there is all the transfers in the bank which we make. It is done by SWIFT, SWIFT. Actually, SWIFT is an acronym for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. So this is the full system. But instead of remembering such a long sentence, we say SWIFT. That is called acronym. Remembering something by abbreviating and taking the first alphabets of the words. Abbreviation are also like this. For example, we abbreviate in the daily life. Many things we abbreviate. For example, a long word of when we are driving, we see PROM, promenade. Similarly, street, ST, we say street. Drive, we say DR, and crescent, Pimlico crescent, we say CRES. These are abbreviations, so we remember. Mnemonics. Mnemonics is making sentence which we can remember. For example, I will give you the acronym and mnemonics, both example in one thing. In my school days, we were taught that white rays of light have 7 colors, which when passed through a prism or a drop of water, that white light breaks into its components. Those are 7 colors. And we were required to name the colors in the order in which they break up. For example, when you see after rain, rainbow, you see a rainbow. They have always those colors in the same order. The top color will always be there and the lowest color will always be there. And those are 7 colors. What are they? They are violet, indigo, blue, yellow, orange, red. And these are we used to remember it with acronym. We used to call it VIBGYOR. V for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, R for red. And these are always in the same order, always. Anytime you say, it will not be like that, the red will be in between. No, red will be the last. Violet will always be on top. So VIBGYOR used to be there. And now, how to remember VIBGYOR? I may forget VIBGYOR also. So we used to make a sentence which we could remember. And that is, very impoverished boy gave you oranges and raspberries. Every beginning, this is a story type of sentence. Story type of sentence. We children used to remember a very impoverished boy gave you oranges and raspberries. So this is mnemonic, and the short form is acronym. This way you can remember many big things which you may forget. Number 5, group or chunk information. The information, big information, you can group it into this all. For example, if you have read an article or something like this in the school days, we used to write behind on the left margin against every paragraph important thing from it, and we used to memorize that point. and we know that how to expand it into paragraph. So that is called grouping or chunking of the information. Use all of your senses. Yes, don't let any sense be idle. Anything which is not used for a long time, that weakens or that goes obsolete and it becomes dormant. So better to use all the senses, hearing and all 5 senses. Don't turn to Google right away. This is the modern way of doing things. While you are talking, the school kid or the college boy will immediately open the Google and do the Googling, and Uncle Google will inform him what was being said. He will say, this is. Easily going to Google, it is good. It is very good modern technique of getting information. But first try to recall. In senior age, we have experienced for a long 60, 65 years we have spent in the world. Try to recall what your personal experience tells you. If you cannot recall it or you do not have an experience in that field, then only resort to Google. Otherwise, try to recall, retrieve the information which you already had. That's what I am saying. That's why I'm saying that please come forward and make presentations or something or share your experience.
Brother Fakhruddin, you're muted.
We are continuing with the points. Number 8, minimize use of GPS. This is the most used thing. Any address you receive, first time using GPS is okay, but if you are going second time to the same place, use your memory. And no need to rely on GPS. That will make your brain or memory idle. And keeping it idle is not good for its health. Keep yourself busy. Don't be idle. Keep doing something. Keep on either working, reading. Book reading is best thing, or walking, or talking to some friend, or writing something. All these things, keep yourself busy. Stay organized. Organization is very important for memory. I will give you an example. When I was a very young child, my neighbor had a daughter almost of my age at the time, very small, young, but she had lost her eyesight. Gradually, she became totally, almost, not totally, almost blind. But she never asked her sisters or brothers or parents to help her find something. She was so organized, even in such a young age. Her if you go to cabinet, see the things, she had all the clothing organized and well placed. Every time she takes out something and she will put it there, measuring that on this height I had, in this middle I had kept this thing. So she always used to organize these things. Her dressing table and these things were all so much organized. Organization helps you in recalling what the things are and how they are placed, at what time I have to do this thing and what time I have to do that thing. Organization not only in placing things, but also in timing and your scheduling and noting down your appointments. Everything should be organized to help your memory. Sleep on a regular schedule. This is also very important. Your natural clock inside your body should remind you that 8 o'clock or 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I have to go to bed. You should start dizzying. You make yourself so scheduled, breakfast at this time, lunch at this time, dinner at this time, so that your organs are awake and alert at that particular time. Your stomach should call you in the morning, that is breakfast, I need breakfast. At lunch, it should be awake. But if you are not regular, you're organized, then your body will not alarm you. Your body will not awake you on particular time for doing a particular thing. So that sleep is on a regular schedule, not only sleeping on regular schedule, but every work should be on regular schedule. Avoid bright screens before bed. Yes, this takes away your sleep. And most of the people I see that they go to bed and they start looking at the messages they have received, they reply them, and then they go to sleep. Or the sleep has already gone. The bright thing affects your eyes and your sleep order. Get physical exercise plus walking. Yes, this is, we have said so many times, exercise and walking is very good for blood circulation, for reaching blood in your brain, for keeping your brain alive and healthy. Manage stress. Don't let stress overcome you. Everybody at some time, for a brief period or a long period, they face stress, the work stress or some other things, but manage it. Don't let it overcome you. Don't let it, because all these things are transient. They do not stay permanently. So why destroy your health after those temporary things? Socialize. Socialize also we mentioned before. Socializing is a very stimulating thing. If you socialize, it stimulates your happiness, your connectivity, your brain health, as well as your emotional health. Foods. For good memory, eat more of these foods. Plant-based foods, especially green, leafy vegetables and berries. This is what part of those Mediterranean food which we mentioned before also. Whole grains, legumes, nuts, chicken or turkey, but not red meat. Olive oil or coconut oil, herbs and spices, and fatty fish like salmon and sardines, omega-3 fatty acids. These are the foods which are healthy for improving memory, for improving brain health, and these are the things which we should keep in our menu. These are the foods which we must eat less. Sugar, this is known to everybody. Sugar is not something which we should eat in a high quantity. Processed foods. Processed foods are those which are not naturally produced. Anything which has been processed, even those which are natural, but it is, if it is processed in tin or canned food, these are processed food. They have to add something preservative called preservative, which compromises the quality of the food. Butter is also a fatty thing which is not good for health. Red meat, as we mentioned, red meat is not part of the Mediterranean food and it should be avoided. Fried foods, all those which have been fried in oil, too much oil or too much butter, these are not good. Salt is a very controversial thing. Minimum salt is required by the body. It is a very important thing, and we should have salt in everything, but should be in a very small quantity. It should not exceed. Some people, instead of spices, they increase salt and think that our curry is very tasty, but we should avoid salt as much as possible, but it should not be devoid of salt. Zero salt is harmful, but too much salt is also very harmful. Cheese is very much liked by most of us, not only Canadians, but Middle Eastern and Indo-Pacs people like cheese very much, but it should be avoided. This is also not good. Following medicines are harmful for the memory. Now, here, word of caution. I'm mentioning some medicines here, but all depends upon your family doctor. If he has recommended it, then you do continue to take it, but keep consulting the doctor. And if any side effect is you are noticing, inform the doctor immediately. And remember that these medicines are being given to you temporarily, and it should be finished as soon as possible. But some of the doctors mention, especially in case of hypertension, And in case of diabetics, they mention that these medicines are for life. There is no such thing as medicine for life. Medicine is an artificial thing for controlling your disease temporarily. Natural, try to shift to the natural means of controlling your disease. God has created us from earth, from the combination of water and soil. So its maintenance, its cure, its growth, everything is from the earth and from water. So the combinations, natural combinations from these two things, the plants grown are from a combination of soil and sunlight and water. So find the medicines in these things, not artificially created or synthesized medicines. They are harmful for our body. This for the antidepressants, the anti-anxiety medications, antidepressants. Try to manage your depression and try to control it in natural way, not by medicines. But if the doctor has given, that means there is an immediate need for that medicine. But try to get rid of it as soon as possible by controlling your disease or your problem in a natural way. Sleeping aids. Sleeping aids is very addictive. One tablet is required for sleeping. If today, then after 1 year, you will need 2 tablets. And after some years, you will need 3 tablets. Metformin, this is very harmful, but very necessary also for curing the problem of diabetics. But you have to manage yourself and inform the doctor that now I am managing it in natural way. Gradually, please try to reduce this. So I do not recommend stopping the medicines immediately or on your own. Keep your doctor in your loop and keep consulting him, but show him your anxiety and your desire to finish this medicine as soon as possible. To conclude, although we are beyond the time I wanted to go for Jamaat, I missed the Jamaat because we started very late. Anyhow, the conclusion is the human brain is the command center for the nervous system and enables thoughts, memory, movement, and emotions by a complex function. Maintaining a healthy brain is the uppermost goal in pursuing health and longevity. Your long life and your good health, long life is itself a good thing, but long life without health is a problem. So not only long life, but a healthy long life is required by us, and health of brain plays a very important role in maintaining this thing. So, and because brain is the command center, it controls your system, nervous system, thoughts, memories, everything. Memory is one function of the brain, but very important function of it, without which good memory can be taken as bad if events are tragic and traumatic. If you have a very good memory and you cannot forget your tragic moments, then it can be a bad thing. But however, in most cases, it is desirable and beneficial. As we grow old, our memories tend to deteriorate. Good news is that we can manage the strength of our memory and even improve it by following certain techniques and having appropriate diet. Of which some of the things I have mentioned, there are many other things which can be relied upon for improving the memory. That thing that good memory is bad is I added only as a humor thing. Some people say that I cannot forget this thing that happened to me, and they go into depression. So there only it may be undesirable, but in most of the cases, good memory is desirable, and it is very useful. Very sorry for the delay, but we started late also. And thank you very much for the patience you have shown for all those who are attending. And thank you, special thanks to Sister Iman for presenting such a good translation and such fluent and adding some points also from her side, which was useful. Thank you to the one who is organizing this. And
Jazakallah khair, Brother Fakhruddin, for such a nice presentation. Barakallah feek.
thank you. You're most welcome. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. It is very good. We are useful from that. Thank you, Iman. You translation good. Thank you.
Thank you.
بارك فيكي على حسن الاستماع. الله يجزيكم الخير جميعا.
في كلمة تكمل الموضوع. الله سبحانه وتعالى جعل الدماغ مغطى بالشعر كله وخاصة الجانبان، ولذلك نهى الرسول عن القزع، والقزع هو أن تحلق من فوق الأذنين زي الموديل الماشي الآن.
نعم.
ولذلك سبحان الله اللي بيحلق شعره من فوق الأذنين يعني الجانبين يعتبر هذا منهي عنه، ولذلك تحفظ الذاكرة. الله سبحانه وتعالى جعل الشعر يغطي هذه المنطقة بالذات لأنها فوق الأذنين، لأنها أكثر حساسية في الجسم، ونحن نتابع الآن. ولذلك الرسول بيقول نهى الرسول عن حلاقة القزع، والله أعلم، وصدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
جزاك الله خير.
بارك الله فيك. ما شاء الله.
بارك الله فيكم جميعا.
بارك الله فيك.
أخينا يونس.
أهلا دكتور عبد الله، تحياتي.
جزاك الله خير، جزاك الله خير، ما شاء الله.
بارك الله.
بارك الله فيكم، وفي انتظار إن شاء الله لو حابين حد فيكم يعمل لنا أي محاضرة حتى لو كانت 10 دقائق، يعني مش لازم تكون كتير، 10 دقائق ربع ساعة، أي شيء من خلال عملكم السابق، خبرتكم في الحياة، أي شيء حابين تقدموا لنا يا ريت، وبنرتب مع بعض نعمل محاضرة حتى الكل يستفيد. يعني الله يجزيكم الخير.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
Thank you very much.
يلا سلام.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you.